Leave your comments on the Ask Reddit sub, and I'll read your answers on the next episode of LWIAR 2. Girls who took notes using 50 different colored pens. Where are you now? Do you still continue to write using all those colors? Unfortunately not allowed in the line of work I chose. So now I use 50 different colored post-it notes. Improvise, adapt and overcome. If I may ask, what line of work are you in that prohibits the choice to use different colored pens? I work in an office, so it's sort of a silly rule. However, it does look more professional, and black ink is just better for scanning, printing purposes. I used to work for a CPA, professional auditor, who advised me to keep purple pens on hand for original signatures. She said you'll always be able to tell at a glance if you're really the one who signed it, since almost no one will have a purple pen around to fudge your signature. And no one will kick up a fuss since it's basically a blue pen. Unless my grandma decides to go on a fraud spree. Purple's her favorite color and the only color she ever writes with. So beware. Makes me think of the poem Warning, by Jenny Joseph. When I am an old woman I shall wear purple with a red hat which doesn't go and doesn't suit me, and I shall spend my pension on brandy and summer gloves and satin sandals, and say we've no money for butter. I shall sit down on the pavement when I'm tired and gobble up samples in shops and press alarm bells and run my stick along the public railings and make up for the sobriety of my youth. I shall go out in my slippers in the rain and pick flowers in other people's gardens and learn to spit. You can wear terrible shirts and grow more fat and eat 3 pounds of sausages at a go. Or only bread and pickle for a week and hoard pens and pencils and beer mats and things in boxes. But now we must have clothes that keep us dry and pay our rent and not swear in the street and set a good example for the children. We must have friends to dinner and read the papers. But maybe I ought to practice a little now, so people who know me are not too shocked and surprised when suddenly I am old and start to wear purple. Jenny Joseph. Certain law school prep guides teach you to take notes on court opinions using different colors. 90% of first-year law students show up with 4 different color highlighters. By the end of the last year, few still use them. In legal practice I have developed color coding for notes of the cases I'm working on. I have not yet found a way to put a heart over the I in my filings. If anyone steals your case notes, you could use this method to protect yourself and make them look a fool. Green means go ahead or shut up about it. Orange means orangey glad you didn't say it. m.youtube.com. I had a law school classmate who tried to claim that her highlighting margin notes actually made her used con law textbook more valuable because she did well in the class. I replied to the listserv and offered my book for cheap because I got a bad grade. Neither book sold because the school started using a new edition. You mean Legally Blonde was a lie, and no one submits their CV on pink scented paper. Submitted a lab report on curry scented paper. But that's cause I packed the printer paper next to the spices when we moved. I review job applications and resumes in my work. Yes. People submit them on colored paper and with festive choices of ink. Scented would be a new one for me, but I'm still holding out hope. Discard resumes because of this. When I get a stack I immediately toss half into the trash because I don't want unlucky people working for me. Save that for any judge with an I in their surname. Woo hello Ito-san. Look at my kawaii case file. Do you like donuts? I have some in my briefcase I can share with you. Oh look out. Don't get glitter on you. Oh, here, let me help. What's this? A new pen? For me? Big Aku. It's so big. You can I touch it? Susu. Why do you exist? The dick emoji at the end slayed me, as if the rest wasn't already ridiculous lol. A little Jigglypuff Kirby character with flowers around its eyes hungrily looks at the small, flaccid penis, rendered in Unicode. It is the zenith of art. No other pieces ever need be produced. CHCH no am I pretty, mother? This is the Reddit equivalent of a car crash you can't look away from. Rubber necking. Musical notes rubbernecking with the best musical notes. I tried so many times to stop reading, but I was powerless. Like a deer in headlights. He sat and he stared at the screen with a sigh, a hitch in his chest and a tear in his eye. Feeling that lingered, a longing to go, an ocean. Emotion of sadness and woe. He sat and he stared and he felt it within, the rising of terror. The sickness of sin, the panic, the loathing, the hatred, the dread, the endless abundance of horror ahead. He sat and he stared till he knew it was true. It was never as heinous a vision to view. It was never a comment so filled with dismay. It's dreadful, he whispered. Quote, I can't look away. Disbarred. OW order in the court. Disbarred. Oh no, I lost my war license. I can't PW access anymore. Exclamation mark. Please excuse me while I go exit this world. I was disbarred but now I'm a lawyer in another world. Question mark. Sounds like the name for a new hit anime edit. Thanks kind Redditor for the gold. Although I don't know what to do with it. There's a PM at my company that does this. No idea how the hell she has the focus and time to take such detailed Technicolor dream notes during meetings, but I've never had a problem with getting any relevant info from her. So, Sue, got a respect note-taking game like that. A good PM is solid freaking gold. If she ever moves to another company, follow her there. I've found there isn't much in the middle ground for PMs and a good one is hard to come across. Either they're great and a project runs so smoothly you don't even notice they're operating. Or they're horrible and even a small freak-up daisy chains into a major issue because they don't catch it and or have contingency plans. Had a competing GC years back that totally missed an under-counter plug mold until the entire kitchen was done. $30 part and $75 in labor. But it's code for a kitchen island. Can't drape cords over walkways in kitchen. Have to have plugs on island. Had to remove an entire huge counter and thereby undermount sink, disposer, filter, faucet, etc. so electricians could get to it. $100 turned into about a $5,000 mistake, all because he didn't catch it until inspection time. Technicolor dream notes is the best phrase I've heard all day. I wrote my note, with golden lining, bright colors shining, wonderful and new and in the east. I was still drawing but the world was boring, any pen won't do. Josie and the astounding Technicolor dream note. Jose the arousing Technicolor dreamboat. We all became bullet journalists. I was looking for this comment. I take notes on my computer at work, so I take out my pen. Obsession on bullet journals. Pilot Precise V5 Extra Fine is my pen of choice these days. Try it. You won't be disappointed. I moved that the term bullet journalists replace war correspondents. Does that mean wankers are Palm Pilots? Am I allowed to answer if I'm a guy? Because I ended up becoming the Excel guy in my office. All of my spreadsheets are exquisitely color-coded. You are the IT department's worst nightmare. Your visually appealing Excel spreadsheets make people daisy-chain needlessly complex and pointless formulas, in an effort to attempt things that should be done in a database. Their creations then become unusable and they complain at us for not supporting their usage. Edit. Haha, loving the responses and differing perspectives. Rip my inbox though. Edit 2. Thank you for gold, kind stranger. Bold of you to assume my company has an IT department. Or would be willing to switch to using a database. Formatting an Excel doc and making it look pretty is one of the most satisfying feelings in there. Well, the real trick is getting the conditional formatting just so. Then, when you enter new data, it's already color-coded. Sir, it is my obligation to inform you that after such an statement you are legally bound to provide at least a picture or image of the aforementioned 6 spreadsheet. If not a complete template, please reply at your earliest convenience. Edit. Op was lying. He posted a spreadsheet found on our personal finances per UBC boneless toast below. My grade 9 science teacher forced us all to do it. He said that by color-coding everything you understood the material better because you had to think about it longer to color-code it and understand what other things it was associated with. Not just zone out and go into transcribing mode. He also made us do end-of-unit study guides. They had to be color-coded, a set amount of drawings, and unit words and definitions. The drawings were doodles based on things in the unit. He would mark them and hand them back before the test, which was great because he knew if he needed to help us with something before we bombed the test. He was also a MMA fighter with cauliflower ears, and not the type of guy you would expect to demand rainbow-colored notes. Edit. There's a lot of people asking for examples, so I'll make one up this afternoon. My US Gov teacher tried this and we fought so hard on it. I eventually ended up telling him that I'd make a study guide when he made a test I couldn't pass without it, and he got me transferred to his app course and I got destroyed. Thanks, Mr. Harris. But did it work? Sure did. I and pretty much everyone else used it all the way through school. This comment is the best part of your story. I'm a medical lab technician. I took notes with a million different colored pens in college. Up until 2 years ago. I graduated at age 41. Just bought myself a nice new set of gel pens. Real talk. Multiple colors really helped me categorize and compress complex ideas into things I could remember. It helped a lot in understanding the material and studying for tests. I'm a lab technologist and I study the same way. Using the different colors to write important information really helps it stand out in my brain. Plus, anything that makes studying even a little more fun helps. This is the proof that girls who used color pens will eventually become a guy. That's just science, folks. I use different ink and highlighter colors to compensate for terrible ADD. I work in a chemistry lab now. Sometimes I'll still use brightly colored pens to record my results for fun. But I don't ever switch between colors, color code anything anymore. All the different colored ink highlighting helped me remember my notes come exam time. So now that I'm out of college, I don't need to switch between colors. I low-key miss color coding and taking notes sometimes, though. When you took the time to color code during class, did you ever become seriously behind as the teacher moved on? If so, how did you compensate? No, not really. I would write my original notes and only switch colors every now and then during the lectures. After class, though, I would recopy and reorganize my notes very thoroughly. And that's when the color coding would take place. It's honestly a great system. I never really had to study because I could remember my notes so well. After doing this, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Not up, but I used colored pens for similar reasons. I didn't use them all in class. Class was for quick notes and following handouts. Note revision, making detailed notes from the class notes and textbooks, was when I could bust out my best handwriting and pretty colors and draw nice diagrams and stuff. People don't understand the importance of note revision and studying from the texts. In high school you don't learn that because most people can skate by if they just pay attention in class. But you can't do that once you get to college. I still color code based on class. Each class has a color. This color includes the folder color, the pen color, the sticky note color that the assignments are written on and placed in my planner on the date they are due. I also teach intro statistics to undergraduates, where I also color code parts of the equations and the values that get inserted to the equation, so the students can see where the numbers come from more easily. AskReddit to change kids to students. That was a poor word choice on my part. Apologies. You're my favorite type of math teacher. All of the teachers who used color to help me learn math were the ones who actually got stuff to stick. Where I also color code parts of the equations and the values that get inserted to the equation, so the kids can see where the numbers come from more easily. Sploosh sweat droplets. My wife did this when we were in school and she still loves using multicolored pens for everything. She even uses her own pretty colors for writing in the labels for things at work. You can always tell work that was done by her from everyone else's. A true ray of sunshine. Edit. I told my wife about all the upvotes on this comment and she is thrilled about all the attention. Edit 2. 1/27, 7 p.m. Thank you so much to both of the kind strangers who awarded this comment. Never thought it would blow up so much. The wife is happy. So damn wholesome. I will never forget sitting in class and asking the girl sitting next to me for a pen. And she turns back to me with a straight face and says to me, "What color?" Edit. This blew up. Thank you for the award. That marks my first, but hopefully not the last. It me. I am a med student now. Also, I am failing because I no longer have time to use fancy pens and prepare colorful notes for all my classes. I work in an office setting now and do still like to use different colored pens for things, if the situation allows it. I don't know if this will make sense to anyone else, but I love colors. I especially like the idea of colors being associated with ideas, personalities, names or themes. Oh, today is Monday. I think orange is a good Monday color. Pink is Friday. Green is Wednesday. I love how Windows 10 allows me to change the colors of tiles so that my computer seems more like me. I am constantly changing the colors of my Apple Watch face. I dunno. I think I have a problem. ETA. The thoughts and discussions being shared here have been very interesting and eye-opening. Thanks for the silver as well. I do just want to add that I am fairly certain I do not have synesthesia. I know someone that doesn't from my very limited knowledge of it. It isn't a voluntary association of colors like mine probably would be. I always automatically like to associate stuff with color or mood, but I don't know that it happens involuntarily. Think of what I do as more of what happens in the video game Persona 5, where each character has a color associated with him intentionally. I love that kind of stuff. I have a few friends that do that. One of them is studying to be a doctor. Move the colored pens to a tablet to easily switch colors. Another wants to become a sign language translator. Keep forgetting the actual term. Thanks for watching LWIAR 2. The best of all time r/AskReddit submissions and comments. If you like this video, check out the original LWIAR channel. And don't forget to like and subscribe.